Well, it's great to speak with you again, Mark. And the next topic we wanted to discuss today is the topic called, it's an issue with a term referred to as oManual, an oManual standard. And I'm curious to learn more what that's about. Can you first provide a brief background of yourself?
Absolutely. Thanks for taking the time to talk to me today, Dustin. I appreciate it. I'm Mark Schaffer. I am a environmental consultant to the electronics industry, and have been doing so for about the past 7 years. I'm located in Austin, Texas. Prior to that, I worked for a number of environmental companies, electronic companies in their environmental departments, and have been engaged in improving electronics and the environment for probably 15 years.
And can you start by talking about a little bit about what is this about?
Sure. So this is a standard. It's we call it the oManual standard, which stands for the Open Manual Format. It actually is an IEEE standard. So the IEEE 1874-2013 is its more formal name, and it actually even has a few more words on that. So just so folks that are interested, the full name of the standard is the IEEE 1874 Standard for Documentation Schema for Repair and Assembly of Electronic Devices. So you can get it from IEEE. There also is a website called oManual.org where you can get a lot of information about the standard and sort of how it is structured, but you wouldn't actually get a copy of the standard itself. In full disclosure, I was one of the folks that helped pull the standard together, and I am the vice chair of the group in IEEE that is maintaining the standard and hopefully will continue to update the standard over time. So that's sort of a little bit of background of what it is, what the group is about. The standard itself is a schema documentation, so it is intended to be a documentation that primarily companies would use when they are trying to develop manuals that they're going to put out, either for assembly of products, repair of products, are two of the biggest things. You also have disassembly of products from like a recycler that needs to know how to take them apart. So this oManual standard basically provides the schema, or basically the table of contents that a software developer would need to go through and say, these are the various aspects that you need to include and how to include them in your documents, such that I can not only look at the documents and create these manuals online, say like as a PDF, but I also am able to then have it so I can put it on my mobile device, so I can put it on my phone or my tablet. And what we're finding in most of the organizations that we've worked with, they're taking their manuals and they're putting it onto tablets and phones so that their workers can use that when they're assembling a product, when they're repairing a product, or when they're ending up taking the product apart for an end-of-life activity. And so what the oManual does is it basically provides this structure such that I can basically move from one device to another without losing any of the data, and that I can also do real-time updates from a server into the server where I change something, say, hey, we have a new procedure, that then would go into that and then it would populate back out to all of these other devices that are looking at that standard.
Is there anything more that you can say about why it's important?
Well, what it does is we're finding right now that a lot of folks, when they're making their manuals, they're static. So they've created it, it's useful, but then it never gets updated, or it gets updated once a year or something like that. It also isn't very portable. If I, either I'm going to print it out as a PDF maybe, or if I'm good, I may download it onto my tablet and carry around as a PDF, but I lose that real-time connection. And so what we've found that the more centralized that the data can be made, and the more real-time connection you can do, the more useful that is to folks. And so what this gives that structure that's necessary to basically make that such that if one manufacturer makes it and follows this, and another manufacturer makes a manual and follows the structure, and another manufacturer makes it and follows the structure, that anybody can then go and look at it. And so this really, provides essentially a level playing field so everybody can look at it. Sort of the most, not quite analogous, but pretty close to this was the development of the PDF file format that Adobe did a number of years ago, so that they put together a structure such that if you put your document at this, you use this software to turn it into a PDF, then you can have another piece of software that can read it, and anybody can do it on any platform. This is essentially that same kind of operation, except it provides it in a live format. It's based, a lot of XML or JSON is the sort of the basic two basic software structures that are typically used as implementation. And we found it very useful for a lot of companies that are using it now on the assembly side and on the disassembly side. It's really helped streamline their process.
And do you have any recommendations for companies that are interested?
Oh, absolutely. So what we're finding, because it is software based, obviously you need a software company or a backbone to make sure that it gets implemented. So what we're encouraging is more software companies to come take a look at what oManual is, and come talk to me or some of the other folks that helped build this standard on how they can adopt the oManual standard and actually offer this as something that they're able to produce manuals in this format today. One of the companies that we work with right now is a company called Dozuki, and they produce online manuals and have for a couple of years, and they're using this to produce all of their online manuals. What we really would like is more companies that are interested in the online manuals and the ability to produce them to come and talk to us and start using this as the format for that. Because the more that use it, then it'll create a large population of these, so that more and more people are able to access these manuals to be able to do assembly and repair and disassembly, depending